that written piece was probably the best thing I ever written in my life to this day. And there's a few photographers that have shot Kobe Bryant and all these great athletes. And I'm like, okay, and here I am, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to, how am I gonna do this? Growing up as a minority, it is harder, and you face a lot of more struggles. So, like, what if they didn't find what was wrong? Like, what would have happened to you? But you should be grateful for the time you get, and like I always say, you should be grateful for every day you get. Oh my God, I literally saw this question you asked, oh my God, in your first interview. And I was like, oh my God, Lara, oh, she doesn't ask me this question.
Lara interviews.
And Michael draws.
You're watching
BioPic.
Hi, Leah. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of BioPic.
Well, thank you for like inviting me and everything.
Yeah, of course. Very excited to interview you. So if you're ready, let's jump into it. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about with you is work and like career stuff, just because everyone who knows you knows that you have like this crazy or insane like work ethic. So do you want to tell people what you're doing and what you're pursuing in general?
Yeah, currently I'm in grad school pursuing a master's degree in strategic public relations, emphasis in sports and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And along with that, I'm working as a TA as well. And also on the side, I'm just trying to keep up with like hobbies like photography, graphic design, and explore other creative projects as well.
Yeah. And like a lot of people go straight from their bachelor's to work, like that's what I did. And I feel like a lot of people in our field just do that. So like why did you decide to get your master's degree and why USC?
USC, actually, I wanted to go there since the 8th grade.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Was it like your dream school? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was since I was in the AVID program at Isabel Middle School. They had us research universities, and I saw USC, and I was like, I want to go there. Like, I really want to go there one day. Hopefully that'll happen. But then I saw like the price of it, and I was like, okay, well, who knows what the future holds.
Yeah.
And just after graduating from Cal Lutheran, there was a year I took off. And I was a social media manager. Besides that, I was interning for a former ESPN reporter and doing some sports PR for him. But still, I wasn't fully in the sports industry. And that's when I knew, how can I get myself more into that realm? What do I need to do? Or what is school the right step next? So then researching USC again, and for some reason it always came back to USC. It was always on my mind, like, no, you should try to go for your master's. And researching the program there, it was perfect. They had professors in this industry and that have so much experience in the sports industry, and there was so much I could learn there. So I said, okay, I'm going to apply. That's the only school I'm applying to for grad school. And if it happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, then there was a reason why it didn't work out.
It didn't happen.
It happened, yeah. So I worked on my personal statement for about 4 months. It was literally therapeutic for me, I feel like, because I was thinking again, why am I going into this program? What is it going to do for me? What do I want the outcome of this program to be? And like, what is my passion in life? What do I want to do as a career? And how will this help me? So then I took the GRE, studied for that. I didn't do amazing on that. And
I feel like no one really does. I feel like everyone's like, oh, I have to study for the GRE, but it's not like anyone, it's like the SATs and stuff. You're like, oh my God, I have to study, but does anyone really get like a 2400 or whatever it is now? Like,
yeah, I remember I did okay in the math and the English portion, but my writing, that was where I did the best.
mm-hmm.
And then when looking into USC, I saw they had graduate student sessions for like students who want to go into the graduate programs. So I went into every session. I drove there every session to meet with the professors, to meet with the admission counselors, and just get advice. Okay, I want to go here, but what are the steps to me trying to get here?
Mhm.
And is there any like financial assistance? Because also I don't want to be in student debt, and financially I couldn't afford it. So looking into all that, I found out there was scholarships I could apply for. And with my personal statement, I basically feel like that written piece was probably the best thing I ever written in my life to this day.
What was the piece about, if you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, so it was about, it mixed in my life as a whole to why sports are so meaningful to me to this day, and why they have been, and why I see myself having a career in sports PR in specific.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it kind of touched into some struggles of my life that I've had as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, so you said that going to USC was like your dream since like 8th grade. Does it like match up to everything you thought it would be? Or are there like what's the word? Shortcomings to it, or are there any things that are more exciting?
There's a lot more than what I expected, I would say, because there's so many events and there's so many career opportunities or career talks you could go to. There's so much going on in the school that sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their own media center, they have their own newspaper, they have their own podcast area, they have their own television station. Like there's so much going on that sometimes it could be overwhelming to pick, okay, what do I want to go to this event? Do I want to hear this person speak? But then I'll miss out on this person. But all of the courses are amazing. All the curriculum's amazing. And it's really like they just put you in the work environment, I feel like, in every course. And it prepares you for a job after.
I feel like that's pretty rare. Like I feel like a lot of schools you go to and it's more, I guess, like the things you learn are contextual or like background information and not really immersive, and you get to like feel like what the industry is actually like. So that's great. I'm glad you have that.
Thank you.
And then, so actually, I want to touch on like some of the previous opportunities you've had in the past. Like, I forget if it was the NBA or MLB, but you shot for a pro team, or you shot a couple of photos for an event. Can you tell me
Oh,
about that and other opportunities you've had in the past?
oh yes. So that was with a prior internship with Delson Strategies, a PR company. And it was an event for an NBA player, Alan Crabb, and he had donated to his old high school. He was the reason why the high school continued to be open because
Oh,
of, yeah. So it was a special event. I got the opportunity to go, and I thought I was just going to do some PR work. It turns out that a photographer that was supposed to be at the event fell through. So he told me, well, you have experience in photography. Do you mind taking photos? And I was like, no, that's fine. I don't mind. But two, it's kind of scary because, like, okay, I'm going to this event, I'm taking pictures for the first time, and it feels like a job. And that's intimidating for me because even though I love taking pictures, when it's a job, I feel like it's different
mhm.
for some reason. So here I am stepping into this high school. There's media, and there's a few photographers that have shot Kobe Bryant and all these great athletes. And I'm like, okay, and here I am, and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to, how am I gonna do this? So I took some photos, did a few video shots as well, and they ended up being on CBS Sports and The Undefeated, and even some video clips ended up on like KTLA. So the work got published, and that on its own, I was like very proud of. I was like, wow, like I actually took photos, and then other media outlets wanted those photos. So it was a great opportunity and a great experience. And it was one where just I had to on the fly just be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I managed to accomplish it, which was great.
Yeah, that's great. Especially when it's like such a high pressure and high stakes kind of, or not really high stakes, but really high profile kind of job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
do. What are some of like the opportunities that you're looking forward to? I think on one of our phone calls or talks, you talked about something with Fox Sports, or is there anything else on the horizon for you that you're excited for?
Yeah, so a course I'll be taking next semester, my final semester at USC. You actually work alongside Fox Sports in the course. And throughout the entire course, you work with them. And also, USC has connections, or they have like they work with Fox Sports as well in the past. So I'm excited to just see what campaigns we have to do for them, or will the course entitle as a whole, most definitely.
Mhm.
And then I just finished wrapping up another internship that I had for a sports PR company as well. So I'm looking into other opportunities, maybe another internship. If not, I know that this last semester, I just really want to enjoy it and take just really dive into each course. And if one has an opportunity with Fox Sports, you're working with them the entire semester. Like that's amazing all on its
Yeah,
own.
it's a big name to be working with.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so earlier you talked about photography and like writing and like all your different interests. And like I know that you are kind of involved in like everything, like writing, photography, graphic design, PR, marketing, ads, like all these things. You're basically like 10 people's jobs in one person.
Oh yeah, don't say that. No, I'm not.
Why? It's true.
No.
You are.
Oh my God, no.
Yes. Why do you not think so? I mean, those are all like jobs, like doing photography, doing like writing copy, doing publicity, video editing, graphic design. Those are all separate jobs.
I guess to me, it's just because I feel like I have a lot more to learn in each area. I don't consider myself a professional photographer. Um, Video editing, I know probably like a little bit of the basics,
Mhm.
not that much. I think because I see so much potential growth that I could accomplish. And I don't know, for me, I feel like I'm always learning in each area, even in PR and even in marketing and social media. And to me, it was surprising I was excelling as being a social media manager because I found that running other people's accounts, I was actually good at. But on personally, I'm I'm not a social media type person. So it's weird to be good at something where on your own you're like not that I don't know how to put it. You're not I would just say I'm just more of a closed off person, but if I'm able to with my previous experience, I'm able to come up with campaigns for people. I'm able to turn a social media account from 0 followers to 10,000 organically. And then, but if I think about it as a professional avenue for me to try to put myself as someone in social media, I'm like, no, I rather just be more to myself, I guess.
I
Um,
feel.
but I
Yeah.
think that comes from just me being an overall shy person since I was little. I think that's why too.
Yeah, I actually want to dive into that in the next couple of questions. But I feel you. Like, I mean, like you know that I'm in marketing too, and
Yeah.
it's it feels a lot easier to support the company that you're working for, but it feels weird to use like hashtags on yourself or
Yeah.
like try to promote yourself. It's this weird feeling of like me? What am I? Like why me? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me rephrase on what I said. Well, I mean, all those things really are like jobs on their own, whether or not you're like super like accomplished or like have 15 years of experience. And I feel like that kind of attitude of being open to learning all the time is what helps you grow and be better. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just really amazing to see you like pursue all these really like different, just literally every sect of a marketing team. That's really cool. You're really like I mean, Michael, you're a senior artist though, but he's kind of like the same, where he's like a jack of all trades, but not really a jack. You're like I don't know, what's above a jack? Like
Oh my god.
a queen, a king.
Queen of all trades.
Like queen, king, ace.
Yeah.
What's above a jack?
A queen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't played with cards in forever. Okay, you're like a queen. You're like a queen or a king of trades, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand the desire to pursue a lot of different things, like just to have so many interests and to really like dive into all of them and want to learn everything about them. I totally understand that impulse.
So, well, how did you pick up all those things anyway? Like, how did you get interested in those things? And how do you, I guess, keep that fire burning? Like, I feel like when you have one kind of dedicated goal, it's a lot easier to just be like, not tunnel vision, but like really just focused on that one goal. But when you have like so many, like I can personally relate to that too, because like there's so many things of art. Like I want to do like interviewing, like I want to do like directing, I want to write, I want to like do cinematography. I don't know, there's like a lot of things. So like I feel, I guess it's a personal question for me to see like how you manage like juggling all these different interests and still staying like focused, I guess.
It's overwhelming at times, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But for me, it all started when I was younger, like really little. I got interested in art right away, and I always loved it. And then going to elementary school, I went to a magnet school, and it was focused all on the arts. Like you drew all the time. It was life drawing. It was so many different types of art that through 1 year in the elementary school, you got to go to different teachers and you learn different types of art with each teacher.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then you also got to learn about music. There was a whole music room. You got to play every instrument, from the recorder to guitar to drums to everything.
Were you good at any instruments?
I wouldn't. I was okay. I learned the basics that was taught to me in class, but yeah, I never like kept up with it, which I probably should have. But yeah, even in the elementary school, just having it focus on art, and every year there was an art show, and it was in December, and then it was in, I think, right when you started school around August and September, and I always had art that got posted on like the walls, and you sold your art, people bought it.
Yeah, elementary, middle school?
Elementary school.
Wow, okay, that's very good.
Like, yeah, when I always talk about my elementary school, people are like, what? Like, that's like a different type of elementary school.
Yeah, sounds like a high school too, like with the, like, let's sell your artwork.
Yeah, and it was like, I think for like $5 or something like that. So I loved my elementary school. That was probably like, I loved just the focus on art, playing with, they called them like Diablos. They were like these little, like, you put it on like a string.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, yeah, it was like that. So yeah, I just remember
Diablo?
Diablos.
Here, let me pull up a picture real quick.
Yeah, it's literally, it's on like a string, and then you bounce it.
Oh, oh you should.
Oh no, no.
It's just it's the video game Diablo.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever play with this?
No, I never played with them.
Aliyah.
I would love to make art all day and play with something like that.
I know, I was gonna say,
it sounds like an amazing elementary school experience.
That would have been perfect for you. You probably would have been like, wow, I belong here.
Yeah.
We learned but it was art. Like we learned like math and like all the subjects, but there was a time period where you just got to do art, and it was really fun. And the second grade was the only year that I wish that because I got sick as a kid, so that didn't I wasn't able to go to school for that year a lot of time because I got sick. So I wish for that year I could have been in school for that year. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you that about that. So you had like a blockage in
Yeah.
your intestines, and like I know that I mean like just hearing you right now talk about like how you wish you could have gone to school more. Like what was like having those like health issues like, and also paired with that, I know like at that time too, or somewhere around like elementary, middle school, like you struggled with like body image and like glasses and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
if you feel comfortable, can you like talk a little bit more about that whole kind of time?
Yeah. So in the second grade, it was like before we barely started school in August. I think it was barely like a few months in. Um, and when I was home, I just started, I wasn't hungry. I wasn't hungry. I started getting like pains from my stomach that went up to my chest. It felt like fire, I could say. Um, it was fire and it was just like very painful. Um, and I remember telling my mom, like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like it's hurting me so bad, my stomach, and I'm not hungry. So she took me to the doctor and they couldn't find anything wrong. So then another day goes by, another day goes by, and I'm not eating because I'm not hungry. And I feel like if I ate anything, I either spit it out or I threw it up. That's what happened if I even tried eating anything. So then my mom started giving me like, she crushed vitamins into my water because I was literally just drinking liquids. And day after day, it comes up to it's going to be a month and I'm not eating.
Oh my
And
god.
I already lost 20 pounds. And I wasn't going to school because my mom was trying to figure out what's wrong with me, like what's wrong. I went to doctors up in the valley. I went to doctors in LA. Um, I literally think I saw like 20 doctors. I
So,
literally. So then my mom decided to try again and go to the hospital here where we live. So we went up to the hill. And the prior day to that, um, I have two close like family members from my grandma's side, and that's my uncle Mike and my tia Josie. And the night before, they had been like praying. They did like a prayer circle. They're very religious, but they've always been there for me. They helped me in school and everything. So they were like, okay, try again, try taking her up again, up to the hill, to the hospital, and let's see what happens. And so we went up to the hospital, me and my mom. The doctors finally noticed something, and they were
20
like,
of them.
finally noticed something. They were like, okay, um, it is a blockage and it's not moving anywhere. So we're gonna try to give her this. It was like a liquid medicine. It was yellow. It was gross. Uh, it was awful. I drank it. I had to drink like a full cup of it. And then my mom had to walk me around the entire hospital for 15 minutes. We went back in. They did another scan and it still wasn't moving. Whatever was blocking was still not moving. So then they give me a different liquid medicine. It looked like cement. I remember it so clearly. It tasted awful. Took that. But thankfully, with that medicine, after walking around for like 20 minutes, they're like, took another scan. Oh, we see it's moving now. Then all I know the next day, everything came out of my system and I was hungry and I wanted to eat. I remember it was like chicken nuggets. I wanted to eat chicken nuggets. And I remember my aunt and my uncle around me and my mom and I think another aunt. And they just started crying because like I was hungry again and I was able to eat again. But I remember just being like, I remember I was scared. I remember I was scared. I remember I would see my mom and I knew she was scared about me too. Like she was worried. And I know she thought for a second, like, what's gonna happen to my daughter? Like, is my daughter gonna like be okay from this? And after that, the doctor told me like my appetite would change. I could have another blockage in the future. I could have health problems later on in life because of it, because my intestines got moved in a certain way that now it's different. Um, so yeah, I did notice afterwards it's hard for me to gain weight. It's hard for me to eat an entire burger as a meal. Like I don't eat a lot. I'll eat small portions, I think, throughout the day, like 4 or 3 times a day. Or sometimes I get nauseous if I eat too much. That used to be the main thing, even after that occurred. I would always get so badly nauseous.
Mhm.
And it was to the point where I literally just had to lay my head down, be in the dark, and just try to get through it. And I've had some of those episodes, like getting older, where it's like that.
Do they know what even started it in the first place?
No, usually it's just, it could happen where you eat so much, like, it could be like unhealthy food. It could be even if I was eating sideways, say I was eating like sideways while watching a TV show. Um, it's just a buildup,
Mhm.
they said. So I don't know really like how it got caused like that badly, like that severely, to be where it was just so much stuck in there where it was just it couldn't it it affected my intestines and then it changed even the way they are.
Mhm.
So yeah.
What was that? I mean, so obviously you missed like a month of school. And like how has that whole experience and just like that time period like shaped you for the person you are now, if at all?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, I remember even during Christmas, in my Christmas photos, you could tell the difference of how like thin I got, and
Mhm.
you could tell that I was like pale and I looked sick. Um, so I could say that I always remember it. Like I'm always gonna remember that experience. I'm always gonna remember what happened. But because of it, it kind of reminds me like, look at how lucky you are. Like, what if they didn't find what was wrong? Like, what would have happened to you? But you should be grateful for the time you get. And like I always say, you should be grateful for every day you get because life isn't promised. And it can even be a simple drive home and a car accident happens or anything or a health problem or, a blood clot or anything. So for me, it's just really has affected me. Like, I need to make sure, even though I'm a very, very much a planner about the future, I need to be more present and just be grateful for each day that we have.
So actually, on your mom, if you feel comfortable, you guys are like super close, and I know that she has like a couple health issues of her own, and like you posted about them on social media. What's that? If you feel comfortable, what's that like for you to be kind of this person who's not only responsible for their own life, but also someone that they love really dearly, who has to struggle with like health problems that kind of make them a little bit more reliant on you.
Yeah. I would say growing up, me and my mom are literally the show Gilmore Girls.
Uh-huh.
You know that show?
Never
Literally,
seen it.
That's
literally.
so sweet. I love that show.
It's like Rory and what's her name?
Lorelai.
Oh,
Yeah, because like growing up, like we did everything together. Like I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have friends, so like me and my mom, she took me to my first concert. It was Demi Lovato.
Oh my god.
We, we went to baseball games. We went to Laker games. We did everything together. We would go to the mall and just have like mother-daughter days. We would even just go get fast food and eat it in the car and park in the parking lot and just like talk. So um, having like both of us just doing everything together growing up, And it was after my grandmother passed away. So I was 12 at that time, around the age of, I think it was 15 or 16. It's been a long time. She started getting pains in her shoulder. And it was like the pain she had in her shoulder was so bad where she was like crying and she couldn't even move it. So we went up to the hospital. They said it was shoulder tendonitis. And then she just started getting more like aches, body aches. And then they diagnosed her with rheumatoid arthritis. And that is like the worst type of arthritis you can have. Basically, like now to the point where she doesn't have cartilage in her bones.
God, it's probably just like
Oh, yeah.
grinding.
It's rubbing bone on bone. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
And then like her hands have gotten like deformed and her knee, one of her knees is like crooked and it's already at the end stage where either she could just leave it like that or she gets like knee surgery. And then besides that, she got diagnosed with a few years later osteoporosis, which is another, bone deformity disease, and that is now in her back. And then along with that, she has high blood pressure, and currently, like, that has been the most rough on her because she's trying to control it, but it gets so high, over 200, where she could literally have a stroke or how bad it is. And then when a few years back, she just started, it was at night, she just started shaking. She couldn't control it. She was shaking, she was sweating, she was having trouble breathing. I called on 911. I went in the ambulance with her, and it was because she was, I think it was because of the medication, I'm pretty sure, and then also because of her high blood pressure, and then she was dehydrated, and then there was another thing that happened. So it's weird, not weird, it's just the change. Like, you're so used to doing everything with your mother, and then it changes to, okay, like, your mom has trouble doing walking. Everybody, like the simple task of like opening a can of soup or taking a shower, and now those are like the struggles that she faces. So with me, I would say it's it's just a complete new journey, I would say, because she can't even go to CVS because they don't have a disabled wheelchair. Some stores don't even have disabled wheelchairs or bikes for people to, just use. So with her, there's like limitations, which it sucks, and it's not easy for her to get around. So
It must be so hard, like for her to have like had all these memories with you and just a normal life or like normal able-bodied life. Like it must be like really hard for her to struggle with those things. Like I feel for her, and it must be also like hard for you too to I guess like to miss those like experiences and to like see someone you love like struggling. It's hard.
yeah, and she always mentions it. Like, she's like, oh, like, I wish I could go with you, or like, I wish we could go, because like I would have no one to go with, and then she would be like, oh, I wish, things were better and I was able to go with you to this, or we could have gone and done this. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, it's okay. We could do something else. And it's definitely hard. It's a lot of worry, but I would say that we both, and just my family as a whole, we all have like my grandmother's faith that she raised us upon, which was just have faith, take it one day at a time, and everything's gonna be okay. And as long as you're able to eat, you have food and a roof over your head, then that's all you need.
You show so much love to the people that you love. Like you show it in like so many ways. You give people gifts, you show up when there's any like birthday parties or like events or just whatever. You are so supportive of the people you love, like with words of affirmation. You are just very loving to the people you love. What does it mean to you to give that support to people, and do you feel like you have that support yourself?
I do feel like I have that support myself. And to me, like, I love hard. Like, I love hard. And if you're one of my loved ones, like, I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
I want you to succeed. I want you to have a good lifestyle. I want you to never be without. Because from personal struggles and from the upbringing, it's like we all have hard times and you got to help each other through those hard times.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just I care about my loved ones deeply, and I'll do anything for them to help them out and to just make sure that they're in a good place. And I think it's just the values my grandma and my mother raised me on, which was just you you care deeply for people that you love, and you let them know how much you love them, and you always look out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give such pure love, and I feel grateful to be one of your friends.
Oh, I'm grateful to be one of your friends. You're amazing. You're over here killing it. You're
Oh, well, now you're just okay. Well, um, yeah. Sorry, I forgot where I was, but basically, I love you. This is not very interview.
Aw, I love you too.
Uh,
Cal Lutheran I loved. Cal Lutheran is home. Cal Lutheran was very much good times. Us and the Echo, the newspaper, having you guys there. It was like McKenna, it was Jackie, it was Marissa, it was, everybody. So it was good times. It was just, I was happy.
mhm.
I enjoyed writing. I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy doing the ads for the newspaper as well. And that was, those were really good years. Those were really, really good years. And that the people I met there also while working as a student worker for the Graduate School of Education, my boss, Lisa, she's a very good friend to this day. And also Joe that worked there as well, and the dean, and all those people were just so sweet people. And I loved working there, and I loved just the atmosphere Kalu had. I think because it was a small school, you felt that community as well, and you always felt safe, and you always felt like you were getting prepared for your professional career. They definitely put you in a career environment, in a career setting. And Dr. H definitely helped me with my writing and just figuring out what I want to do in my life. And as well as Dr. Sandlin. So there were just so many people that really just helped me and were there for me, and the professors. And it was it was so it was just happy. I was just happy, and it was so nice. I love Cal Lutheran.
It's like one of those movies of someone going to college to like reinvent and like restart and like have this like beautiful new life.
Exactly. And I think that was the time period where I wasn't the shy girl that I always was. Because Cal Lutheran, I definitely broke out of my shell because of the newspaper. And I started with PR and the research programs with like Dr. G and everything. So I definitely got to just be more hands-on and just figure out more of who I was as a person, really.
That's good. What are you most proud of about yourself, or if you feel like you can answer that question, like what do you find inspiring about yourself?
I think that through all the struggles and all the hardships, I'm okay. And I'm doing the best I can be. And I got through all of them. And like my grandmother would say, the hardest hardships are given to the strongest people. So it must mean that I'm stronger than what I think I am. And I have a good head on my shoulders, and I was raised with good values. And I'm grateful for that because I know what I want as a future for myself. And I know what and how I want to live my life. And I feel like through everything that me and my mom have gone through, whether it be financially, personally, and just me and life itself, I am a stronger person because of all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good that you also have like a really positive outlook. I feel like a lot of people can and sometimes usually do when they go through really hard things, they kind of just surrender and they're like, this is my life and I'm like, I have bad luck or like my life's over. I'm just gonna let my shitty experiences like become me and dictate how I live. But it's really powerful that you choose to use it as motivation to be stronger and to work towards like a happier life for yourself.
Thank you.
What, who do you, on that kind of like, who do you want to grow to be in the next 5 years?
I think that's scary. I'll be 30. Whoa. Remember we talked about this? We were like, whoa. No offense, Michael. No. That's fine. I'm just, it's not scary. It's just like it's a new chapter. But I'm just like,
Chapter to elderly.
no. I'm just like, I don't know. I see myself working in the industry I want to work in, which is sports. Whether that be a side job or a main job, I see myself working in that. I see myself having a good lifestyle for myself.
What does
Just
that look like?
where I don't put work as something that's 24/7 because there needs to be a balance. I've done that in the past and it's not healthy. And it doesn't make you happy. There has to be a balance of an amazing personal life and work life. I don't want to be working a job where I'm not happy. I already know that. And I want to be with my loved ones and I want to have a place of my own where it's just, I'm like, wow, like I actually have my own place. It's not like living with your parents, you know what I mean? Because when you have your own place, it's like, wow, like it's another achievement you accomplish. It's another goal off the checklist and it's a new chapter in your life. And I also see myself trying to improve my trust issues and just like self imaging like issues as well, and just be in a place where I'm more, I would say I'm more like nice to myself and I don't put myself so much pressure on myself because I always put so much pressure on myself. So hopefully in those years I won't be like, wanting to do so many things or wanting to explore so many outlets where it gets overwhelming and I feel like I have to be the best at everything, because I don't. As long as I try my best, that's all that matters.
There's not really any representation of minorities in like almost every industry, but I feel like I also really never see any representation of like powerhouses in PR or marketing or journalism that are minorities. Um, does who you are, like, is there significance to you doing everything that you're doing as a woman of color?
Yes, definitely, because I do want, like, I want girls that are younger than me or little girls growing up who are passionate about sports to be like, you know what, I could work, or I could be a PR director, or I could go to college, or I could, get into the industry. Like, I do hope that people see that with me, I would say. Because it does mean a lot to where I'm at today, because growing up as a minority, it is harder and you face a lot of more struggles. So I would have never thought that I would be accomplishing a master's degree. But I'm thankful for it. And I do hope that encourages other people to go for, their degree, or just go for their passion, what they're passionate about. Some people's school's not the direction, and I understand that. So just follow your passion and work hard and you'll get there. As long as you have the mindset and you don't give up, you will eventually get there. But it takes your hard work and just you thriving and you knowing that you're doing this because you want it, and it's not for anybody else, it's for yourself.
The last question is there anything you wish more people knew about you?
Oh my God, I literally saw this question you asked, oh my God, in your first interview, and I was like, oh my God, Lara, oh, she doesn't ask me this question. Oh my God, she's gonna ask me this question. And then I was like, I need to prepare for this question. And then I was like, oh my God, what if she asked me this question? And then I never prepared for the question. Oh my God.
I didn't do repeat questions either, but I was like, I'm kind of curious, like, what does Aliyah wish? So now you're on the hot seat.
Okay. So, okay. Question again. What?
Is there anything you wish more people knew about you?
Okay. Oh my God. That question scares me. Isn't that weird that it scares me? I hate
Why does
that.
that scare you?
I don't know. I feel like because I don't know, because I'm like always this shy person, and I'm always like, okay, other people are doing great things. That's good for you. Okay, I'll just stay here in my little corner. Okay, I'll just. I would say, I don't know. I think that sometimes people see me as like, I don't like, a few people in my past have made the comments like, oh, this girl is like, she's materialistic, or she's fancy, or she's like, and I, it's frustrating because like I'm probably like one of the most simplest people, and I just enjoy the simple things in life. Like, to me, staying home, watching a movie, having popcorn, well, more of chips and dip, because I'm a huge chips and dip fan.
What are your chips and what are your dips?
Oh, I eat every kind of chip as long as it's not spicy. I would just say that I wish people knew that I'm just a very, very down to earth person, and I just want my loved ones to be happy. I just want good things to, I just want more good things to come in my life, and I just take, I would say, just that if I'm coming off as closed off, it's not like I am doing that on purpose. That's just how I've grown up, and I'm shy, but once you get to know me and just once for people that know me, like I'm just a more closed off person, but I'm very simple, I'm non-materialistic, and I just am a very creative person, I'd say.
I relate to that too, like because I'm pretty shy when I first meet people. Like maybe you don't see that because like I know you,
Yeah.
but when I first meet people, I'm so shy. I don't say a word and like I keep to myself. And I think sometimes people see that as standoffish.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
So I totally understand that.
I think that was my last question.
Okay,
Yeah.
girl. Okay.
Well, thanks for joining, Aliyah.
Thank you. And I wish I had more time to talk to you, but
No, I understand. Gotta go get some presents.
yeah, exactly. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Let me show you the portrait right here.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. I love it. Oh my god.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank you. You have a good day too.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.